Hello YouTube, welcome back to another episode here at WILDMAN Lifts. I'm your host, WILDMAN. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing something different. It's a Strongman medley, which are commonly found in strongman competitions. Now the only reason I'm doing this is because they're simply fun to do, okay? And I'm also going to be doing some running in between my sets. So I'm going to walk you through the process today and teach you a little something new. Alrighty, so we are doing the Strongman medley today, more specifically the overhead medley. Now this is a loadable circus dumbbell. So as you can see, you can put weight inside of it and then put a clip on the inside so that the weight doesn't fall out or slide out as you're lifting it overhead. And I just drop it down that tire to not crack the concrete or crack the dumbbell. And I'm using the axle bar today as well, which is thicker in diameter than a normal barbell, and the ends do not rotate. So it makes it a much harder implement to get it from ground to overhead. So this is what the medley is going to look like in real time. I'm going to get the dumbbell to my shoulder and press it overhead with my right, and then I'm going to take it off the tire, and I'm going to set it down on the ground, and then I'm going to overhead press it with my left. And then I'm going to move gingerly over to that axle bar, and I'm going to continental clean and press it over my head. And this is the pace I'm going to try to do the entire time as I go up in weight in both the dumbbell and the axle bar. And I'm going to be, I know, running in between my sets. Strongmen do not run, but hey, I do, because I feel like that it really helps with my conditioning. So the goal was to be able to single arm press using the dumbbell on both sides when you add them together, the same weight that I'm pressing overhead using both my arms on the axle lift. Now, I'm running in between every single set here, but I'm not recording that because that doesn't really matter. What really matters and what I'm trying to do is move as efficiently as possible between the dumbbell and the axle overhead. But there you have it. There's some video evidence of me actually trying to run. Now I've loaded the dumbbell up to 100 pounds. So I'm going to press this from each side, and the axle implement is going to move to 190 pounds. So if you add up 100 pounds on each side of my shoulder from left and right, and then the axle implement, it's 200 pounds total for the circus dumbbell and 190 pounds for the axle. And eventually the dumbbell and the axle are going to weigh the same exact amount if you added up both the right and left side of the circus dumbbell and the axle implement for the top set. Now, you may be asking yourself, why train like this? And the real reason is, number one, it's fun for me. That's why I do it. And number two, this is changing the stimulus when you're lifting. So if you're not used to doing something like this, you'd be surprised how fast you would gas out when trying to lift these implements. Well, I got a little carried away there. And the more that you train like this, you'll be amazed about how much faster your other lifts will go up just because you've given your body a new task to do and it had to adapt. So this is the 7th round and my top set. So it's going to be 115 on both the right and left side for the circus dumbbell, which if you add that up, that's going to be 230 pounds, which, surprise, the axle is going to weigh 230 pounds. And I've done this whole thing beltless, which is something I've never done before, and I was really, really impressed with myself that I was able to do all this amount of work along with the running and was able to get a solid workout. Training conditioning in conjunction with your strength will make you an elite athlete, and all your other lifts will go up. All right, just finished the strength giant set. Now we're going to move on to the variation giant set, where I'm going to take the weight off of this and do some waiter walks in between my incline bench press, and I'm going to continue to run my 300 meters so I can get to 2 miles total in one workout session. So this was going to be 3 rounds of the incline bench press, 6 rep max, and the goal was to hit 250 pounds. Now the axle bar, in my opinion, activates your chest muscles a lot more. And the incline bench press, in my opinion, activates your chest muscles a lot more. And since I had pulled my pec not too long ago, doing all of the chains work and then now coming back to the axle bar and doing some really focused chest work, I was very grateful that I didn't really feel anything on my left pec. So that means that my training was proper and I had recovered to the point where I could do this again. And in between my sets, I was doing the circus dumbbell waiter walks. Now this works your shoulder stability at the top and your lockout and your obliques. And you're also working with an odd object as you're moving forward. So you're getting a lot of strongman loaded carry as well. This is one of my favorite exercises to do when training circus dumbbell. And by the time I was done with my strength and my variation giant sets, I had done 2 miles total of running. All right, variation giant set done. I'm very pleased that with the axle bar, I was able to bench press and that my left pec was able to not feel a thing. It's feeling a lot better. The axle bar, in case you don't know, really activates your chest muscles a lot more than a regular barbell, in my opinion, just because of its odd diameter. Now we're going to finish up with the assistance giant set and the accessory giant set, and that's going to be it. I'm now going to switch over from running though, and I'm going to do the bike to target my inner knee that's been bothering me ever since I was in high school and ran cross country and other distance sports. Now for the assistance giant set, I was doing 3 rounds of 75-pound dumbbells for 150 pounds total of seated strict press. Now this is what I've been doing a lot more recently because I haven't done these in a while and my overhead press started to suffer as a result. So this is something that I like to throw in as a good assistance exercise. And I was also doing this bike erg in between the sets, and I wasn't doing anything else other than those 2 things. For the accessory, I was doing 3 rounds of tricep overhead press, followed by the side delt raise, and then I was doing my face pulls, of course. Now, one thing I want to mention about the bike erg, if you just slightly turn your foot angle out slightly, you'll be able to target your inner knees a lot better, which rarely get worked. And we're back, YouTube, right where we started. I really hope you enjoyed following along with me as I did my training sessions. Every once in a while, it's a good idea to try something new. In Strongman, it's all about trying different implements and having the brains to figure out how to pick it up, carry it, press it overhead, drag it, push it, whatever the event calls for. And that's how real life goes. Occasionally, you might find yourself in a position where you're going to have to pick up an implement that you're unfamiliar with. Training with odd objects and training in strongman event styles will make you an overall stronger athlete. Continue to follow along with me, and I will show you more workouts like these that can help you develop overall athleticism and strength. Until next time, thank you, YouTube.